Rifters, it's our favorite time on a Tuesday evening. That's right. It's the Rifting Hour. We're here to bring you a Rift-delicious show, and we hope you enjoy it. We're going to have 3 really good segments. We're going to hit kind of all the topics. We're going to make sure we get all the fans out there happy. We're going to have a comic news segment. It's been a while since I've spouted comic news. It's been a really long time since I've spouted comic news. So we're going to have comic news from C2E2 and just various other bits and pieces of comic news that's been put out into the interwebs. Then we're going to have a segment on what the DC MU would have been if Zack Snyder stayed. If he wasn't... He did leave because of his daughter or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, if he stayed on, I wasn't wrong. Was he fired? I don't know. If he stayed on, what would the DC MCU still be? What would it look like? What would be the future of these movies? Would it be good? Would it be bad? We'll be talking about it. And finally, we're going to have a gaming segment. There's some new systems coming out, it seems. Some new platforms, some systems.
Some new players entering the arena.
So, or maybe some old ones just coming back in and taking a second shot. So we'll be talking about video games in the final segment of the show. So we're hitting all the categories. It almost feels like a classic episode of Static Rift with comic books, movies, video games. The classic 3, the trinity of Static Rift.
Vintage, you might say.
Yeah, vintage episode of Static Rift. Just with not vintage people, I guess. Well, I guess I'm vintage. I don't know.
You are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, three hot segments, 3 good moments, video games, movies, comic books, in reverse order there, but they'll be on there. Dimitri, it's been a long time since we've talked comic books. Are you excited?
I'm super excited.
We also have some... Oh. Okay. That took me a second to really hit me.
Delayed reaction.
Yeah. So we also have some news, some, I guess, housekeeping to talk about. So going forward, we're going to be posting these live episodes up on YouTube. So we do have a YouTube channel. We just haven't used it in a really long time. So we decided that we want to start getting these videos out there because sometimes you guys really enjoy watching them and we have a big audience and people are watching and commenting. And then other times it's a graveyard. It's a ghost hour.
You guys disappear.
Yeah. It's just me, Jason, and Gengar running around.
And it's just going into the ether.
Yeah. So we decided that we're going to put them up on YouTube because currently right now they're live and you watch them. And I don't know if people actually like secondarily watch them later on. If people come in later and watch them, they don't give me numbers if like the views went up because they watch.
There's no way to tell.
Yeah, there's no way to tell. So, maybe you guys love coming in later. Maybe there's like a big Static Rift Wednesday watch party or something.
Maybe.
And we have no idea. So we're going to put them on YouTube because on YouTube you obviously can see when somebody watches it, right?
Yes.
It'll give you the numbers of how many have seen it or whatever. So we'll know, I guess, a better idea of but how many people watch it and stuff like that and what videos are working and what segments are working because we kind of don't know what's working. Yeah, there's that audience that's like, oh, more comic stuff. And then when we start giving you comic stuff and you're ghosts.
Yeah.
Or the wrestling crew, which we'll find out next week. We'll have a big WrestleMania segment. It's going to be a huge segment on the show because Jason thinks WWE sucks right now.
I think WrestleMania is going to blow.
And I think Raw's been the best it's been in a long time.
So that'll be interesting because we're on opposite ends now.
Because I have no idea what you want. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Usually you're the negative one. I can't believe you're this optimistic. Wow.
I'm even excited for a Roman match.
Oh.
Yep. I think it's going to be a good match.
Gross.
I think it's going to be a good match. But that's for next week.
Yeah.
So we don't really know what you guys love or you guys hate on the show. And it's also important to us that if you hate something, we shouldn't probably keep doing it. If it's not working and we're not reaching out to you guys, we probably shouldn't keep unless like we want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what
In
I
which
mean?
case,
Like,
screw you.
if there's certain things we want to talk about, we're probably going to still talk about them.
Yeah.
But maybe not as much. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. So we're going to be posting them to YouTube. We're going to be starting with episode 150. And we're going to be posting, what did we agreed to 2 a week? 1 a week? How are we going to do it?
1 a week, yeah. We'll build it up over time.
Just because, yeah, we'll I guess 1 a week until we get up to speed. We'll probably have to do, I don't know. Will 1 work?
1 might.
Because we might never get back to like getting, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
We'll figure it out. It might be 1 or 2 a week. We'll post up. It'll be the same episode you see on Facebook Live. We'll just cut out breaks. That's it. There's no edits. We're not going to edit anything. Legitimately just going in, cutting out the breaks, and putting them on YouTube. So it's the same stuff that you're seeing on Facebook Live, just minus the break. So that's it. We also decided that we're not sure how the whole Facebook Live thing's going. Because, again, like we said, sometimes you guys are here in full effect. And then other times...
Crickets.
Yeah. So we decided that we're going to give it a shot to see what other platforms could work for us, I guess. So we decided that next month, for the month of... Now, granted, we're not saying that we're just completely cutting out Facebook Live.
We're experimenting.
We're experimenting new things, seeing what things are like. And for the month of April, we're going to stream on Twitch. We'll explain how to... our URLs and all that stuff. I mean, what is it? It's just twitch.tv?
It's
Static Riff Radio.
Static Riff Radio, yep.
Yep, so it's twitch.tv/Static Riff Radio. Do you need a...
You do not, no.
So you can just go on there and...
You can still watch us for free, yep.
And you don't need a...
You don't need an account, no. You can go right on there and just watch us on Twitch, and you don't need a Twitch account or a subscription or anything like that.
Now, Twitch account's free anyways.
Yeah.
So say like Dimitri wants to listen to the show. Say he's Joe Schmo now.
Sure.
And he wants to listen to the show, and he doesn't have an account. We won't be able to tell that he's listening or watching.
I don't know, actually. I don't know if Twitch
they'd probably have to log in,
everything,
right?
Or if they just log, like, account viewers. I think they log everything, so you might be able to tell regardless.
Okay.
But yeah, and that's one of the things we'll find out.
Yeah, I guess that is one of the things we'll find out. So,
but nothing changes for you guys. You guys can still watch us. You can watch the live stream. You can still see our beautiful mugs, which I know is really important to all of you. So nothing changes. It's just a new location.
Yeah, I'm really eating the mic tonight. But yeah, I guess the whole watching us is more important than I expected. I didn't think that so many people would really love watching us. I look like I'm like sad or something on here. I gotta like liven up or something.
Look a little dark, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe change the lights. I don't know. So we're gonna be streaming on Twitch for the month of April. See how it goes. Give it 4 weeks. See how we like it. Then we're gonna be streaming on YouTube, I guess, for the month of May. I mean, unless Twitch is like a straight home run.
Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
But the plan is after that to give a month of YouTube streaming and see how that goes. So, yeah, there's going to be a couple new places to watch us. Well, going forward, it's going to be Twitch for the month, YouTube for the month, because we can't stream in 2 places at once, unfortunately.
No.
So, maybe if there's a big following on Facebook Live, we'll at least maybe put the video up after or something. I don't know.
Sure.
We'll see what happens. But the plan right now is for next week to be on Twitch, right? Next week's April?
Yeah, April 2nd.
So next week we'll be on Twitch. So hopefully everyone will tune in and listen to us on Twitch.
Yeah.
And see how, a lot of people are going on Twitch. Felger and Maz go on Twitch. So it's not just necessarily video game stuff.
No.
Granted, we probably will talk about video games. So, yeah. So that's the plan. Videos up on YouTube. So all these episodes that you've been watching so far. We're going to start with 150, and we'll get all the way up to current. So hopefully we can get that done, post them up, and get them all up there. And stream on Twitch and stream on YouTube the next month. Unless, like I said, Twitch is like I don't know, maybe we'll still try it anyways, even if it is a home run.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Yeah. So that is the plan. Was there anything else that we had? No, but you can watch us on Twitch next week, for the next month. Other than that, what did you boys do this past week? Who wants to go?
Dimitri, why don't you go ahead?
I finished Seinfeld,
Oh,
God.
fantastic.
Jason's favorite show ever.
Yeah, another thing that I love. Great.
Listen, I might hate it more than Jason.
Yeah, it's...
Fine. I finished Seinfeld, the show that both of you absolutely love.
It's just trash.
So how do you feel about Seinfeld overall?
It's trash.
Yeah, just okay.
I mean,
I'll take
I
that.
understand why it was such a big hit back in the 90s because there was nothing like it before, but it does not, much like Friends, it doesn't hold its own nowadays.
So there wasn't anything as steamy or smelly and crappy as Seinfeld, you're trying to say?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I it's not like it was absolutely hilarious all the time. There was an occasional chuckle here and there. It wasn't like I was glued to the TV all the time or hysterically laughing or hysterically depressed or anything, but it was all right.
It's like, what can be funny, though? It's like the whole hypothetical, well, what is this? What is that? I mean...
Well, different humor. I
Yeah,
mean, like 90s humor is different than what it is now. So Seinfeld's humor just will not work nowadays. Just
I mean, there's
like-
plenty of 90s stuff that's still funny
Yep.
and enjoyable. It's just, I don't know, his humor just blows.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
So you wasted how many seasons? 9, 10? How long
Something
is it?
like that. I think it's 9 seasons.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's that many, huh?
Oh, it was a long run.
You wasted probably
Yeah.
100 hours of your life.
Well, here's the important part. Are you now a misogynist and or racist after watching that?
No.
So I feel like a lot of people who are like
So Kramer
hardcore
was the
Seinfeld
racist.
fans are like one of those two.
How was Kramer the racist?
He was a racist.
Oh, Michael
Super
Richards, the
racist.
actor, said a racist comment in one of his stand-up routines.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's racist.
It wasn't even a stand-up comment. It was the actual N-word.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a racist.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Seinfeld is a known misogynist for years, has been.
Okay, then.
So he-
Not a fan of female comedians, that Jerry Seinfeld.
All right, then.
Because they're probably funnier
Because
than
they're
him.
funnier than he is, yeah.
Yeah. They're not just
No,
a sack of crap
no.
and not funny at all.
Right.
Yeah. Screw you, Seinfeld.
But hey, I interview comedians in cars. Aren't I clever? No. No, you're not.
Trash.
Yeah.
Awful.
Wow. All right. Tell me how you really
yeah,
feel.
it's,
So that's all you did for the past week was watch awful Seinfeld?
And finish it. Yes.
well, I commend you. And you're still
And also
upright
realize that Everybody Loves Raymond is on no streaming platform.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
So it's one of those things that people say, like, when you eat crappy, you feel crappy. When you watch crappy, do you feel crappy?
No.
So when you're watching crappy television, you don't feel any worse?
No. I just turn it off if I start feeling worse.
See, I
yeah,
feel...
that's probably the right thing to do. Yeah.
Oh, here's something that actually I watched and I absolutely loved.
Mm.
There's a new anthology on Netflix called Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, yeah, I've seen
It is
that. Yeah.
amazing.
Okay, that looks interesting.
It is absolutely amazing.
Sell it to me. Why is it amazing?
Just watch it.
Yeah,
That's
probably,
my selling.
that's probably not happening.
All right, well, how about this?
Maybe not your greatest pitch. But
It's similar to Black Mirror, but one, it's animated. Every episode's completely different, and the episodes range from 6 minutes to 17 minutes, so they're really short,
Oh, all right.
So how long is a typical episode of the show?
like 10 minutes.
Oh, so it's not like, you know what I mean? Like, is it just like a 30-minute thing and they show you 3 different episodes
No,
or something?
there's 18 episodes. Each one is completely different animation, different story, different characters, different everything. They range from 6 minutes to 17 minutes.
Oh. So it sounds like more a compilation of shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Am I
That
going to
can
watch
get
it?
behind. I might.
I don't know.
I mean, it sounds
So-
like it would take you an hour to get through the whole thing. So.
About an hour and a half or so, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not bad. Some are like there's one or two that are more lighthearted. They're funny and they're like comedic, while other ones are very gruesome and like serious.
So like the little
Okay.
dog video in one of before one of the Pixar movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of.
I forget what
like the
it's
two
called.
old guys playing chess.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Well, I was thinking about that little the little dog.
I'm not sure what you're
I
referring
don't
I don't
know.
know the little dog one. Yeah, I remember the two guys playing chess. I think that was before one of the Toy Story movies.
But I think you guys should definitely watch it. It's
Yeah.
quick, they're easy, and you can watch, like a couple in a sitting, and it's like a half an hour.
Feast.
Feast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
I'll play it for you during the break.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, it sounds familiar. But like,
It's like one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
for
No,
some
this
reason
is
it's not
better.
ringing a bell. But yeah,
This is better.
This is better than
This
Feast.
is better than Feast.
I don't know about that.
bold. Okay.
Feast is a quality short. It's up there as like the best short of all time.
This is pretty up there.
No?
I guarantee you, both of you've seen this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, no, I have. I know I have.
For some reason, just it's not registering right now. But yeah, I'm sure if you showed it to me, I'd be like, oh, that thing. Yeah.
What movie did it play before?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Big Hero 6.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that might be why I don't know it.
You haven't seen Big Hero 6?
No.
It was alright.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's not that it didn't interest me. I think I just missed it. And
You should watch it. I think
Yeah.
you like it.
It's good.
good.
I don't know. I just expected more out of it because it's technically a Marvel property, but they kind of Disneyfied it.
It's not like it's an amazing movie. It's entertaining.
It's
Okay.
good. Yeah, it could have been amazing.
I may
but
not watch it 5 or 6 times, but if it's on TV, I might flip through it, or it's a good way to spend an hour and a half.
yeah, I've seen like some gifs from it and some screenshots.
You
and
should check it
looks-
out. I
looks
think you'll
like
like
it's got some funny moments.
Yeah,
So
it's good.
okay.
Yeah, it's
There's
good.
also a reference to Stanley in it.
Well, there
Well,
you
I
go.
mean, it's
Obviously,
it's
yes,
based
it
off
should be.
legit Marvel characters.
Well, there you go.
So
Perfect.
yeah,
All right.
so yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff.
Maybe I'll do that this week.
And
Uh,
watch Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, and that too.
maybe.
Yeah.
So Jason, what did you do this week?
So I was also on Netflix, and I think I talked about this show maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, the Frankenstein Chronicles, the Sean Bean show.
Yes.
Okay.
Is he dead
so-
yet?
So apparently there's 2 seasons of it. I thought
so
it was
he's
just
not
like
dead.
1 season, but it's actually 2. And it's one of those like British shows where it's 2 seasons and there's only like 6 episodes per season, so it's kind of easy to get through.
Yeah.
I guess spoiler alert in case anyone hasn't watched it
He's
yet,
dead?
but he does die, but then he comes back because when this show it's called the Frankenstein Chronicles, they're literally talking about Frankensteins because he
he's-
turns into a Frankenstein. So the show is literally about like a mad doctor who's like cutting out people's hearts and like stitching dead bodies together to make Frankensteins.
Is he like a superhero Frankenstein?
No, that's the part that sucks. Like he comes back as a Frankenstein, and he's just kind of the same. He's still just like the same dude.
But was he like an agent or something? Like
he
what
was,
was
he
he?
was an inspector. Yeah, he was like a detective.
So he's just back as a detective.
No, well, not quite, because there's plot points that he loses that status, and he's just back as like John.
Is he killing people?
No, he's trying to find the guy who's like doing all this and trying to stop him.
Kind of sounds boring.
It's definitely dragging a little bit because it's essentially been the same plot for like 2 seasons now, and there's been no resolution. There's just been kind of like weird stuff that happens in between. But like I'm like almost done with it. I think I have 1 episode left, and we're no closer to a resolution. And I'm like, kind of feel like they ran out of ideas, and they're like, well, we got to do a 2nd season. So
So he was like a police officer kind of.
yeah, essentially. And
So
then he was originally
maybe like
tasked-
an FBI agent.
Yeah, similar to that.
So he would go on, like he would like shoot people and.
Well, there's no. This is like early, like 18th century. There's no
Oh.
guns. So,
There's no guns in the 18th century.
well, not in this time period. It's not. It's 16th century England. So no, this is like bubonic plague times.
So he's pulling out swords.
No, he's knives. I haven't seen a sword yet, but there's been knives.
You had me, and I was just like,
Yeah, it's.
and I'm kind of just like, huh.
I don't think I'd recommend it. I really, in my heart, I kind of want to. 'Cause
Sure.
It's different, and I don't mind the concept. I think Frankenstein, in a different light, could be cool, but they're dragging their feet, and the plot's just kind of like, okay. Like we know who the villain is. we've known since like the second episode of season 1, and there's just been no there's been no closer to a resolution. He has weird hallucinations that are like, I don't know, like it's weird. It's a weird show. So if you're into weird, like just generally out there kind of stuff, maybe give it a shot. But if you're looking for a show that like actually wraps up plot points really well, it's not great at that.
Okay.
So,
All right. So I started rewatching a show that doesn't suck, Dimitri. I started watching Samurai Jack.
oh yeah,
Ooh.
nice.
And I was like, you know what? I saw that they started like replaying it. So I started DVRing it a while back, and I've just been compiling episodes for, the last couple weeks. Haven't watched them yet. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time. And I watched, so you know how originally it was a movie, the first 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
This, they cut it up. They decided to cut it up into episodes. You get the first part of the movie, the second part. So the first episode is just the whole montage of him as a little kid training to become like great, kind of, which they show you in like the movie, like the first, little part of the movie. And just that first episode, I was just like,
Yeah,
been missing this. The montage is great. That I feel like there is no hindrance from, what is it, early 2001, I think it started coming out.
something like that.
Yeah, there's no quality. I mean, the only thing I guess that you could say sucks or is a hindrance is it's not HD. So when you watch it, you got the little black bars in the
Well,
side.
I mean, it's 2001. You can't really expect.
So it's like, whatever, that's fine.
Only so much you can do.
That's like the only negative about it. I think it's witty. The writing's amazing. The action's amazing. I think.
Let me ask you this, John. Did you catch up? Was it season 3 is the one that got released like 5 years later?
That's season 5.
Oh, season 5. Sorry.
Yeah. So I think the 4th season just finished airing. So I have seasons 1 through 4 on my DVR right now.
All right.
So I watched like the first 5 or 6 episodes.
I want to see what your thoughts on season 5 because it ended on a cliffhanger, season 4, and then like 5 or 6 years later they finally.
Oh,
came
it
out
was
season
more
5.
than 5 or 6 years. It was like 10 years.
Oh, it was 10 years. Yeah. Okay.
It was a long,
Yeah, it was a
long
long
yeah,
drop
yeah,
off,
that's
yeah.
true. Yeah, it was a long time. But they came out with season 5 and it only had like I think 7 episodes.
So I don't know if they're going to air season 5 because season 5 was on Adult Swim. So I don't know if they made it more adult-like. If
I believe they may have. Yes.
So they might not be, because this is Cartoon Network showing it.
Oh, okay.
So Cartoon Network's replaying it around like 8 or 9 every night. So it's like right before it switches to Adult Swim. So I'm thinking it's not going to, because they haven't recorded any season 5 yet for me. So maybe it just hasn't come back on yet.
See, once you finish it, see if you can watch.
I'll
season
try
5,
and
because
find it, yeah.
There's a very huge difference in the show.
Oh, right. I'm assuming because it's for adults now.
I'm not gonna say whether it's good or bad, but you can definitely tell that it's completely
Or
different.
you can say if it's, without spoiling anything, did you enjoy it more than...
No.
So it sucked compared to the original.
In my opinion, it's not as good as the original seasons because I think they were done by completely different people, or at least some different people.
Though the same guy, Gandhi Tartakovsky, was back for it.
Yeah, but like a bunch of other people weren't.
Okay.
So it is very different.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you'll see what I mean.
I feel like Samurai Jack is just like...
But I mean, as the character Samurai Jack, he has to also progress and change as well. So there is a lot in the story, in the actual cartoon. There is time that's passed. So maybe he himself has changed.
He doesn't need to change. I don't need him to change.
Yeah.
He's like the quintessential hero. He's like, if you look up hero in the dictionary, it's Samurai Jack.
It's a picture of Samurai Jack.
Yeah. Unsheathing his sword. It's just like the show's just great.
With his hair free flowing.
Yes.
Sure, I guess you can give him the free flowing hair,
why
but
not?
that would mean he just got into a fight, so then half his tunic's torn off too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, like I said, he's the quintessential hero. He's just like, it's just a selfless dude. Like that episode where they're trying to fly and get to outer space.
Oh, the spacesuit one, yeah.
Yeah, the spacesuit episode, and everybody has like a different color spacesuit. And it just, that was something cool too. It's like the patterns and the colors and
The animation.
Yeah, the animation was just so different for its time.
My favorite episode, not necessarily for story, but for animation, is the one where he fights the ninja, and it's all black and white. The fight itself is black and white because half it's in the shadows.
Yes.
That animation's really cool.
I haven't got back there yet.
A lot of it's hands drawn, so it's literally just black and white.
Yeah. I think the whole art style for that show was so cool.
Yeah.
I just think that he's just awesome. Like, there's so many times where he could have done what he wanted to do to go back to his time, and he chose to do the right thing, or to do the hero thing and help this person, or the episode with the 3 blind archers, that if you get
that was a good one.
you get to the top, you can get to make a wish, but he destroys the well to set the blind archers free because it's the right thing to do. So there's just so many like quality episodes like that where it's just so good. It's just so good. I think the last one I watched was the one where he teamed up with this like woman, and she's kind of like an anti-hero, and they're kind of in like an Agrabah setting. They're in like the desert and stuff. And at the end, he spends all this time with her, and he starts like really like enjoying her company because like she seems like a bad person. And then at the end, you find out that it's really Aku the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, you dirtbag. Like, he's just such a
You
dirty...
ruined the episode.
I mean, it's 10 years old, 20... It's so long. I mean, if you have... Whatever. Yeah, I ruined it. I ruined one episode for you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Aku was OG
Boo-hoo.
dirtbag, though. He really was.
Yeah, like, just the scummiest dude.
Oh, he was the best.
And I guess it never hit me that his name's really not Jack. We don't know his name.
No.
His name is technically the Prince.
It was given to him by people that
But
know him. Yeah.
in the first episode, well, the second, I think it's still the first. Either the end of the first episode or the beginning of the second episode, where like the youths of the future, they're just like calling him Jack, like, what up, Jack? Like, just like as a slang, like that's not his name. And he just takes it as like, they call me Jack, and that's why he's Jack. And when I was a kid, I thought his name was, it didn't, I just figured like, oh, like they know who he is.
Yeah.
It just went over my head. And then this time I was just like, his name's not really Jack. And then I was like looking up online. I'm like, what's his real name? And they never tell you his real. Well, I don't know if they do in the 5th season or not. If they tell you his name or not. But just Aku's such a bad dude. He's just like a scummy guy. And unfortunately, the guy who did his voice, like Mako or whatever, he passed away before the newer season.
Yeah,
so is the guy who does Aku's voice is good in the newer season?
I'm honestly not sure. I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while. I just remember watching it once, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, everything but... I can't really explain it. I just didn't like it as much as the other seasons.
Interesting. Because I have really high hopes. I want like a finish, I want a...
Yeah, of course.
Because I remember as a kid... I can't remember the last episode. If you told me right now, well, I would say as a teenager, if you were like, what was the last episode? I just remember being like, that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to go home? Yep. And I was just like so angry and so mad that he wasn't going home.
Yep.
So the dude who does his voice now is Greg Baldwin.
Aku?
He does Aku now, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, I just sneezed. Aku?
He's done a ton of other shows, but I don't know. I feel like you can't. Mako's voice was.
Yeah.
You can't do it. His voice was just the best. He had like that. I want to say he was either Splinter or Shredder in the original Ninja Turtles.
I would believe that, yeah.
I can see that, yeah.
I want to say he's one of them. Trying to confirm or deny that now.
Probably was.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the two.
He would strike me as a Splinter.
He was Splinter's voice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And TMNT, the 2007 movie, I believe he was also in the like the actual show. He was Splinter at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just has that wonderful voice. So yeah, unfortunately, he passed away in 2006. So
Yeah.
we didn't get him to finish off
That darn death.
that darn death.
Yeah, that pesky death thing. Yeah.
Damn you, death.
Speaking of death, Bill and Ted 3 has been announced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Saw
same
that.
actor that played Death in the first 2 movies has been confirmed to play him in this one too.
Oh, okay.
There's my segue for Death.
Not bad.
I guess. Yeah. Now you have me like disappointed about this 5th season
Yeah.
a little bit. I don't know.
It's
We'll
not
see.
horrible. It's just not the same as the other ones.
Well, if he's not like the classic Jack, I'm going to be very disappointed.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
Like,
Mm.
I want him to be. Okay, so I'm looking right now, and on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 100% rating.
Wow.
Okay.
And audience rating is 95%.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
So you might be one of the only people that don't like it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it was different.
Oh, you sounded like you didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Okay, it wasn't bad. It was just not as good as the other ones.
I think you're just under calling it trash. You were disappointed. I could hear the disappointment in your voice.
Yes, because it's not the same as the other ones. The other 4 seasons were amazing. This one is not as good, but I'm not going to call it
See,
trash
I don't
because it's
like
not
that.
bad.
I want amazing.
Yeah.
I want selfless,
Look, let me know once you
awesome
watch
Jack.
It. Let me know.
Oh,
once
I
you
will.
watch
I
it.
totally will. I totally will. Selfless, awesome Jack. That's what I want.
It's not like he'd be turned into the Punisher or something.
So this you can confirm or deny this
Can
without trying to get. I'm hoping.
I honestly don't even remember what happened.
I'm hoping that. Oh, if you do remember, I'm hoping that you get cameos from all the people that have been in the show. Like that's how I would have ended it.
Oh yeah, okay.
So the season 5 to me would be, at some point you see everybody
like
who's
what?
been in
Like
the.
you mean one of those stereotypical scenes where like everybody's ever met rises up to an army to face a coup?
You want a
no.
you want a fan service.
Yeah.
I want to know where everyone else has been.
Oh, like okay.
So you know what I mean? Like I want to see like where those guys in space. Do they come back and you know what I mean? Like maybe they help them, maybe they should. You know what I mean?
I think that actually does happen if I'm not mistaken.
I want you to see some of the all these people that have been around. Like what are they doing now? What have they been? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's what I want.
You want a big reunion season.
Yeah, I
Something
guess.
akin to that.
I feel like I want to see. So all the people. I think it'd be cool to be like the dogs from the first episode. Where are they now?
Oh yeah.
He just hooked up those dogs. Like, where are those dogs?
Sure.
Like the people from in space, the blind archers. Where did they go? Did they come back? Did they help him out? You know what I mean? Like all these people that have been Jack's buddies. Like, where are they now? You know what I mean? Do you get all of his homies? Like, does the Scotsman come back? Do you see the
Oh, I
Scotsman?
hope the Scotsman comes back.
You know what I mean? Like,
I actually can confirm that he does come back.
Yes.
okay, because I mean, like he was in multiple seasons.
Yeah.
So I would expect the Scotsman to be there.
He better. Yeah.
So it's just like I want to see like where are these people? Like, does it pay dividends for him being so selfless? Does people finally be selfless to Jack and help Jack out? You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to know. He's done all these good deeds. He's helped all these people. Is he going to get hooked up too? That's what I want to know. And it doesn't have to be like one of those moments where like the last episode when he's just about to destroy Aku, like everyone just like shows up or like they're like you got it, Jack. I don't want something cheesy like that. But I would like to see throughout the season. Maybe you see certain things, or maybe you do. Maybe you get. I mean, I guess I don't know if I necessarily would want that, like a moment where you see like, everybody randomly. I don't know. I would like to see where everyone is, kind of.
Or you get a scene like a spirit bomb scene where he tries to draw power from his friendship.
That's what I don't want.
Yeah,
that's
that
definitely
would be
that's what
corny.
I was gonna not say.
That's
Because
on the corny level. Yeah.
I mean, Dragon Ball Z's done it. Fine, cool.
They've done it a few times.
Yeah, they've done it more than once.
Yeah, but I mean, like they didn't do. They've done it where people gave them power, but they only did the showing you like legit people like hooking them up, like and you're
Raising
like,
their hands and
I
power.
remember them.
Yeah.
Like once from what I remember, and it shows you just like a montage of like, whew, I remember him.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember them from Dragon Ball. Like, yeah, I don't really want that. If it happens, I'll be okay with it. But I would like to see where are the dogs? Where are the people? Where are they? I want to know.
So you want backstories of everything.
not necessarily backstories, just like where they are now, kind of.
Yeah.
Or maybe they help him out. Maybe they come and, or maybe throughout the season, like through the 10 episodes, he's going back and to, as he's preparing himself to finish off Aku, like they come back and help him on various things. Like the dogs show him, he's got to travel somewhere and the dogs help him here and this guy helps him here. And in his quest, he re-meets everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a lot through 10 episodes.
That's a lot.
But I think that'd be kind of cool to just,
Yeah, you want Samurai Jack and friends.
Kind of. I just want, I don't know. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I want to know, like, he's did all these good things. I want to know what's going to happen to him. Like, does he get, Because clearly he's going to end up beating him. Clearly. Unless they...
Do you, really?
Oh, man.
To say, do you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If he doesn't beat him, though...
What if it ends on another cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm breaking my TV, probably. I'm smashing my TV. Oh, man. Because I don't even... I'm trying to remember how it ended the last time. And I just remember watching it, and I was just like, seriously? And I was like so angry that it ended in such a, like, awful way.
It was just a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It was just like a normal episode.
Yep.
The thing here says Jack rescues a baby from hungry ogres, then trying to find the child's mother while caring for it and protecting it may be his greatest challenge. During the episode, Jack retells the story of Momotaro. I don't know what that is. I don't remember that.
No idea.
To the baby. And I just remember, like, it ending, and I was just like, oh, man. That's not what I want. That's not what I want.
Can't always get what you want.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like you should have an ending. Oh, man, I kind of want to look now, but I'm not gonna. I had the chance. I'm not doing it. Eggs out. So, yeah, that's what I did. I started rewatching Samurai Jack, and now I plan to bust through all the episodes. But, yeah, some nostalgia. I guess, too, I just want I don't know. But I guess I could handle maybe a more adult Jack. More
serious Jack.
A more bloody Jack.
Yep.
I guess. I'm assuming there's some blood now.
I don't remember, honestly. I haven't seen it in a while.
Well,
maybe I'll rewatch it.
I definitely. I'm gonna watch all the episodes first.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. And yeah, that's what I did this week. I started watching. I mean, I did a myriad of other things, but that was probably the most standout. Was restarting to watch Samurai Jack and being like,
hey, that's not a bad way to spend a week.
This is a good show.
Yeah.
It's a quality show, and just how awful Aku is.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is a demon, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's just like the worst. He's like the worst. He spends a whole episode like getting you to like really like this person. You're like, oh, this woman's not that bad. Like, and then it's him at the end. You're just like, you dirtbag, you like scumbag.
He's a demon. Would you expect anything?
It's kind
less?
of funny when you think about it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh, just like that whole thing you just described. Like, I don't know, if I were a demon, I'd do that too. That's funny. Like, I gotcha.
I hope Jack ruins him. he better kill him. He better ruin him. It better not be a weak ending too. He better like really like ruin this guy. Oh man. All right, let's go to break.
Oh, are you disappointed now?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm starting to get like this expectation, and I feel like he's not gonna beat him in like a quality way.
Small sense of dread is setting in.
I feel like every time he fights him in the show, like so far in the past seasons, like he like basically is better than him, stronger than him, can beat him every time.
Oh yeah, no, but that's kind of the back and forth that they have between Jack and Aku. Is Jack is technically stronger, he can beat him, but Aku always
is just like
fights sturdy,
right?
And he always sneaks out of the fight.
Slithers away.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Because that's happened multiple times. Jack has technically beaten Aku multiple times.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Aku just slithers away.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Jack owns that ass.
Oh,
but
so
Aku eats.
I just want a satisfying end to him, or if it's not a satisfying end, I want there to be, I guess, a cliffhanger. But if they're going to give me like a 6th season,
Yeah,
Not for another 10 years.
I know. I hope they cliffhang you to death. That'd be great.
Ah, don't do that to me.
Well, I mean, that's what One Punch Man did, kind of.
Yeah,
yeah, but you knew One Punch Man was coming back.
Did you?
right.
Yeah, they said they were coming back.
When season 1 came out, you did not know there was going to be a season 2.
I think
I don't
not
remember.
that far after it, they said there was going to be another season. They just didn't tell you when you were going to.
Yeah,
another
it's been
season.
like 7 years already.
No, it hasn't been that long.
It's been a few years.
It's been a couple, but it hasn't been that long. Like 2 or 3, maybe tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It feels like 7.
It has. It does. It really does. Because
Feels
we've all
like
been
much
waiting
longer.
for so long, and it's soon. It's in April. So
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't know when we'll get it. Like America-wise, when you get like
I can watch it dubbed. I don't care.
Yeah.
You mean subbed?
So, I mean subbed.
Oh
I was
yeah,
gonna
I
say, if you
won't.
put your mind to it, you can watch it when in April.
Yeah.
Find a way to get it.
2015 when it came out.
Yeah, so 4 years.
Yeah, almost 4 years.
See, I'm not like you, John. I don't mind watching it subbed.
Oof, gross.
Dimitri's more cultured than you.
I just no, I'll watch if I don't mind watching a subbed movie or something. Like there's plenty of like kung fu movies that are subbed. Sure,
Yeah.
I don't mind it. But it's like if I can watch it dubbed, I rather not have to like read. I rather be able to.
Yeah,
pay
but I don't want to
attention.
wait. This is good enough to watch subbed.
Yeah. So it's impatience versus lack of culture. So it's kind of
No, it's more of not lack of culture because I love the culture. It's just a lack of reading.
I
don't wanna-
Okay,
A
so
lack
it's lazy.
of literacy.
So it's impatience versus laziness.
Because then I feel like I gotta read it and then I gotta rewatch it again to watch the fight scenes to really like pay attention. I don't know. It's hard to like pay attention and
I have no
read at the
problem
same
doing it.
time.
I watched the show I was talking about. That's in English. I watched it with subtitles on.
I always watch with subtitles on.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Why?
always I
Because
always have closed
some of their
captioning on.
accents, especially when they talk really softly and really like fast, you can't like the British accent sometimes is like you can't
see,
pick it
that-
up.
I
don't
will
know.
say, so I've been watching closed captioning for as long as I can remember. I've always just have it automatically
It annoys
turned
the
on.
hell out of me.
I think it has helped me, one, to read faster because I'm almost a speed reader. I can read very fast.
Yep.
And it's helped me with spelling because if I see it on the screen,
It's
I
true.
can spell the word a lot
It
easier.
will
I
do
can
that.
spell names so much easier because I see them on the screen.
Yeah.
Ugh,
It does help with
Maybe
that.
I need it, but I'm never gonna do it.
Like if you try and watch Peaky Blinders without closed
I don't know
captioning,
what-
good luck.
I don't know what Peaky Blinders
it's-
is.
Early 1900s Birmingham, England, and Cillian Murphy with the thickest Birmingham accent.
Why would you watch that in the first place?
Yeah, I think I'm all
'Cause
set with
it's
that.
great. It's like the English mob.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, I think I'm all. I think I'm.
I don't
all
like
set.
old.
Oh,
thing.
you guys need to watch Peaky Blinders.
Does that mean that I don't have my cultured label anymore?
No, yeah, now I'm taking it away from you. Yeah. Just dissing Peaky Blinders over here.
No, but I don't understand those people that get like they legitimately get pissed off when you have closed captioning on. Like it takes away from the movie for them.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
I don't notice it.
I don't either.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
But like, how can you fully see? Like, if it's like a loud action scene or something, you can't always understand what they're screaming.
It's true.
It's made me understand movies so much better because I know for a fact what they're saying. So I'm not like, wait, what? Rewind it. I didn't hear.
Yeah, I would much rather have the closed captioning on than be watching a movie with someone and have them go, "Wait, can you rewind that? I didn't catch it."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
just put the closed captioning on.
No.
You won't notice after like 2 minutes.
If
I
you
noticed.
if you watch it for like if you watch a bunch of things for like a
So
week
for-
or two, you won't notice anything.
So, for
Yeah.
example, when we were watching UFC at
Well, that's different.
Yeah. Okay, so
that
that's
was
a little,
annoying as hell.
but that's a little different because you really don't need commentary when watching fights.
I like.
I mean, it's helpful.
I
Like,
like talking to. I like hearing. I was say
That's
talking to
fine.
Joe. I like
Yeah,
listening
talking
to Joe.
Yeah.
I like listening to Joe. But the thing is, we could hear him perfectly. I
Yeah.
knew what Joe was saying. It just it was just annoying to
So-
have it on the screen.
So for that, it's different because you're not gaining anything from having the closed captioning on. You're right. But I think for movies and TV shows, you do gain something. Because like Dimitri said, you never have to wonder like, oh, did I catch what they said? Like, no, you know what they're saying 100% of the time. And I promise you, after trying it for a little bit, you won't notice.
Watch everything closed caption for like a week or two, and you won't even know it's there.
Because you're training your eye.
Yep.
And you're training your brain. So eventually, like right now, you think of it and you're like, oh, it's an obstruction, it's in the way, I can't get it. But like after training your eye and your brain for a little bit, you won't notice.
I actually don't even like to watch things without closed captioning anymore.
It depends. Depends on what it is. Typically, any show that takes place not in America, where like the accents might be a little bit thick, I need closed captioning.
That, or when the mixing is off and the action scenes are really loud and the speaking is really low.
Yeah, that too.
That's really annoying.
Yeah. Should try it.
But yeah, I mean, watch a couple things on it. How about this? Watch everything closed captioning for like a week.
Yeah.
If you still
Do
hate
a
it,
trial
after,
run.
Try it,
Yeah.
hate it.
If
You
you
do it.
If you still hate it afterwards, and just turn it off. But I think it's very useful. And like I said, it's taught me how to read faster. It's improved my spelling because I've been doing it for so long. And
Yeah.
I know names very well.
There you go.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be back. We're going to talk comic book stores. We're going to talk movies first. You know what? You'll be surprised. So stay tuned. We're either going to talk comic books or movies. One of them. And stay tuned. We are back here on the Go Network. We're going to get into some movie talk. We're going to talk about the DC movie universe if Zack Snyder didn't quit, didn't leave. He had to leave because of a personal matter, and they had Joss Whedon come in and oversee the reshoots and oversee post-production. And from what I understand, it was a complete, almost overhaul of the movie.
Yeah.
He completely kind of took the essence of what... Now, granted, I have not seen the Justice League movie.
Okay.
I don't intend on seeing it.
Yeah.
I hear it's a load of crap.
You're probably better off, yeah.
Yeah.
Not great.
I think it's really crappy.
Not
I'm
great.
sure it's really crappy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan on seeing it. You know?
Yeah.
So, but recently it was put out there, I'm assuming by Zack Snyder himself. I'm pretty sure that he's the one leaking this or putting this out there.
Knowing
or
him, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's him.
It's a fair bet.
Yes, it is. In an interview, he told people that this is what. Yes, okay. So he came out and told everybody what his Justice League would have been like if he stayed on. If the Justice League happened, this is what would have happened, basically.
Okay.
So he finished Batman vs. Superman. There's some questionable things in Batman vs. Superman that you're kind of like, this makes no sense. Like, why is this in the movie? Like, you get that scene of Batman in the future just murking people.
Yeah.
And you're just like, did he just randomly have a dream? Like,
why did
is
Batman
this
just kill 36 dudes in 2 minutes?
What? He just having a dream of killing people?
Yeah.
Like, why is it about this? And then you have that other moment where, like, the Flash just pops in real quick, and he's like, hey.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like,
what's up?
that's kind of weird, too. Like,
Yeah.
it felt like there was just random things in the movie that they kept in that should have been maybe cut, or, like I said many times, it felt like a tale of two movies. If they cut certain, like, half the movie and made it two separate movies, or cut half the movie and on the back end showed you a little bit of Batman and Gotham,
Yeah.
you could have had two maybe really good movies if they just shaped it a little. You had the whole Batman versus Superman, and then you had the whole Doomsday thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just be two separate, like, hour-and-a-half movies instead of, two whatever.
So smushed into one.
Yeah. It just felt like they just smushed two movies and randomly put nonsensical dream stuff
That was weird. Yeah.
in the middle to kind of, like, tie it together.
Yeah.
So recently, Zack Snyder revealed what his plan was gonna be for Justice League if he stayed on and continued, directing it.
Right.
I guess they didn't even shoot his planned idea. So he never even got a chance to film what he wanted to. I guess DC or Warner Brothers were insecure overall of the negative reaction to Batman vs Superman. So no one really liked Batman vs Superman. So DC was like, "Yeah, we're not gonna let you do what you want now."
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so he says the truth is that the nightmare sequence in the movie was always my idea that all of that would eventually be explained. So it's like, all right, makes sense now. He actually had a reason for to, for this to be a part of the movie.
Right. Wasn't
So
just random. Yeah.
yeah, it felt just really random.
Yeah.
So here's kind of like I'll give you like the summary of it, like the bullet points.
Okay.
So it's Justice League movie. It has Darkseid in it.
Okay.
And there's a picture of I'll post this summary up. We'll post it up on Instagram because it's a photo of like it's bullet pointed, and it shows you a picture of what Darkseid would have looked like in the movie. I don't know if they show him in the movie. Does he pop up in the movie? Is he like, "Hey, what's
God.
up"?
I
Does
don't
he make
remember,
like a cameo?
honestly.
I like I said, I haven't seen it.
I don't think
plan on
so.
it. So
Yeah.
the plan would have been Darkseid murders Steppenwolf for healing Superman. Does he heal Superman in the movie?
Again, I watched the movie when it came out. So,
Yeah, I don't think I'm
boy, did
gonna-
I try to forget about it right away. So, yeah.
So that's first bullet point. Darkseid murders Steppenwolf for healing Superman. All right, okay. Second bullet point. Darkseid defeats the League with ease.
Yeah, that's the part. It's just like, okay.
I'm like, okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So technically, this could have been your Thanos before Thanos.
yeah, really. Yeah.
Okay. Aquaman is killed. Whoa. Okay.
There goes everybody's favorite.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Screw you
Aquaman
guys.
is killed. Darkseid boom tubes into the Batcave and murders Lois, causing Superman to succumb to the anti-life equation. So I'm assuming that's why you get that murderous Superman just killing peeps,
Yeah.
because he's like,
F it.
screw it,
Right.
done, toast. Wonder Woman is killed trying to protect Lois Lane.
Again, there goes your favorite.
Right. He's just like, oh, you like Aquaman and Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Well, they're dead.
Bye-bye.
They're toast.
We're going to axe them.
The surviving members of the Justice League now exist in the Nightmare timeline. So that's all of what Darkseid did, is that timeline where you see Batman just murking people and he's in like that desert gear with the goggles and stuff.
Yeah.
Flash, Batman, and a torn in half cyborg work together to send the Flash back in time to alter the past. So that scene where you see the Flash being like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
That's
That's
him
what-
coming back in
right.
time to fix what needs to be fixed.
I just love the addition. Poor Cyborg. Like, yeah, he's only going to be half of you now.
yeah, he's ripped in half.
Screw your lower half.
Now is he ripped like in the middle? Like is
That's
his
a good
human
question.
half
Which
ripped?
half?
Or
Yeah,
is his
like-
legs ripped off? Is this just like his torso?
I'm guessing it's his legs ripped off.
Yeah.
Because he's got to have, like, the mental capacity to help send this guy to the
Well, I mean,
future
maybe
or
he's just the
past.
robot part. Maybe they killed the human part.
Maybe, yeah.
It's Zack Snyder, so I could see it being that.
Yeah, who knows with him.
Yeah. So generally, I'm not excited about anything Zack Snyder wants to do. I'm sold on this.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm sold on this. This could have saved the DCU.
Yeah.
I think this would have been awesome.
That would have been so cool.
It would have been fantastic.
I mean, you said it perfectly. That would have been Thanos before Thanos.
Yep.
Like, just people walking out of the theater going, what the hell just
Yeah.
happened?
And if he ended it like this, because wasn't it originally supposed to be split into two movies?
Yeah.
Originally
and then again,
it was.
they smushed it into one.
Right. So all this would have happened, and you would have been like,
When's part two?
whoa.
When's part two?
That
I
would
need
have been
part
your
two.
snap.
Yeah.
Your snap would have been, maybe them sending Flash back in time or something. Like you're just like, whoa.
Yep.
That would have been phenomenal.
DC could have had its own Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good type of memes. Like,
Yeah.
They could have really, it would have been so good.
Maybe it would have been Aquaman or something dying.
Yeah.
Or,
Aquaman dying would have become
Yeah.
a meme or, yeah.
but it's interesting that. So now, let me say this. He's an attention whore.
Oh, yeah.
Do I believe that he really had this set out?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Really?
I don't.
do.
See, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
I actually do.
Unfortunately. I would love for it to be true.
Yeah.
I think that he thought of all this recently. Because it's
I could see that too.
because think about it
but-
this way. It's very Thanos-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, it sounds like an episode you would have seen on like the Justice League cartoon or like a Young Justice cartoon.
Yeah.
I could see this happening in a comic book. I could see this happening
definitely in a comic. Yeah.
I could see it happening on an animated show. I could see an animated movie happening like this.
Yep.
Do I see it happening in real life? I'd love it.
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Another thing is, it's interesting that he gives you that Thanos vibe after, you know what I mean? Like, well, I had the Thanos before the
Right. I
Did
beat
he?
Marvel to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
they just didn't let me do it.
I mean, he doesn't say that, but I guess like, you can tell he's
Sure.
insinuating.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, would this be a Darkseid type story? Absolutely, because Darkseid and Thanos are almost the same character. They're
Yeah.
kind of like DC's version of Thanos, and he's Thanos's. I'm not sure who came out first.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I want to say it was Darkseid. Unfortunately, I think Thanos is a copy of. I want to say by a couple years, Darkseid was first.
Okay.
But I'll check that out. Actually, want to check that out? Who came first, Thanos or
Sure.
Darkseid? So, I think that, and let me give you a little bit more of why I think it's kind of bullcrap, and he just pulled it out his ass like last week. And maybe if he wrote something this good, then maybe we'd be having a bunch of Justice League movies, and there'd be some, and Ben Affleck wouldn't be leaving. Granted, I don't really care. I don't want him to stay.
Yeah, I don't
anyways.
care if Ben Affleck stays or goes, but
For one, he kills the two top most Aquaman and Wonder Woman,
the two highest grossing DC characters. Yeah.
which would cause the most shock.
Yeah.
Come on.
I know. No, and that's
Come
part of it too.
on.
That's a little bit okay. Like he took the two most popular. Yeah.
I mean, if the whole nightmare timeline thing was really his plan, wouldn't it have been a little bit more fleshed out in Batman vs Superman? It was legitimately just a random scene where Batman just envisions himself murdering people,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of like,
Yeah, it's like what the hell?
What?
Where the hell did that come from? Yeah.
and then the Flash just showing up, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what's going on here? And then it just jumps to the next scene. You're kind of like,
It's like, okay. What
all right.
did I just witness? Yeah.
I don't know. I
That's
mean,
fair. Yeah.
I want to, unless I see something that was like legit written out, where it says that, a bunch of places are commenting on it and posting about it, but unless I can see like a written script
Yeah.
or something,
That's what we need. We need the further proof. the
because
further
why
plan.
wouldn't people want? Now, granted, I was looking on like Facebook and stuff and reading comments, and everyone's like, "Trash! This sounds." I'm just like, "What?
What are you talking
This sounds
about?
awful."
Be great.
I was like,
Yeah.
"This sounds great." I
Look.
was like, "You were getting They're like, "Oh, Batman's killing people." I'm like, "He's killing people anyways."
Yeah.
No matter what you
He,
do,
he
he's
was
killing
murdering
somebody.
people anyway, so. And Zack Snyder already told you to get over that.
He's murking people no
Yeah.
matter what you do.
Zack
Somebody's
Snyder
dying.
already was like, yeah, Batman and Superman kill people. Get over it.
And then
So-
maybe he fixes it. Flash goes back in time, fixes everything, and Batman never has to kill anybody.
Yeah. Maybe.
And then at that
Right.
point, you get what you want in
And
the
then
first
you're
place.
all happy. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I was pissed that he killed people too, but
Yeah, it was a little bit much. But,
But-
what are you going to do?
if that's ends up being a plot point in the story that ends up, making the story what it is, and it gets erased or it gets
Yeah.
reprimanded or fixed later on, sure, fine.
Right.
Yep. But unless I see a script or something, granted, I mean,
You could just write it.
yeah.
So
So
even that may not be.
what it
proof
was
enough.
was it was a screening for his superior director's cut of Batman vs Superman.
Okay.
And he took some fan questions during there was a Q&A before it,
Yeah.
and somewhat amazingly nobody asked him if the cut was real.
Oh, wow. Well,
But I guess like he did reveal, oh, okay. What I'm reading here is it was actually okay. It was co-written by another guy,
oh.
and the other guy's confirming it too.
So now so that does add it a little bit, add a little bit of legitimacy.
Yeah, Chris Terrio,
Okay.
one of the guys who he wrote the screenplay for Argo. So
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
why
I
is
thought
this,
his name sounded familiar.
why was this guy not helping out anyways? Well, it was this guy. Well, that's probably, well, there you go.
Yeah.
This guy was helping out and they didn't take it.
Wow.
Oh, man.
All right.
So this is legit.
Yeah. So,
Oh, man.
all right. So just for reference, Darkseid came first.
I figured. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Darkseid was 1970. Thanos was 73.
I knew it. It's a couple.
So,
I knew it was a few years.
3 years later. Yep.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Marvel does that a lot, where they've taken a couple characters a couple years after.
So, in fact, the creator of Thanos, Jim Starlin, eventually came out and said he was instructed by his editor at Marvel to copy Darkseid, to make their own version of Darkseid.
But then
And that's when he made
I feel
Thanos.
like they did enough to change him, though.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously, Thanos is a little bit different, but yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I knew. I figured. I knew it was just a couple years. I just wanted to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
Wow. So they didn't even shoot it really scary because we were really nervous after the response.
Yeah. Well, I can't necessarily blame him for that, but still. So that's a real thing that we could have had.
Yep.
Ugh. I'm actually, like, that's more annoying that it was real. Because now I feel like we've been robbed. We've been denied. That's a shame.
It was never actually shot. They started shooting the rewrite. Oh man, that would have been so good. So it wasn't even like a chance that they would have shot it.
Man. That sucks.
Oh man. It says when the movie came out, understanding that Chris Terrio and I had finished the script to Justice League before Batman vs Superman came out. Some people didn't like the movie, a vocal minority, so they said there's a lot of stuff we don't want you to do. So they did a rewrite from that script. They didn't shoot it, like I said. It says the truth is the nightmare sequence. This is all tweets
Okay.
that I guess either him or I don't know somebody posted. The movie was something I intended to explain. We ended up in a future Earth where Superman succumbed to the anti-life equation, and there was a few surviving members of the Justice League and a broken cyborg.
For the uninitiated, what is the anti-life equation?
It's basically Darkseid's like power. It's, I'm not really explaining it that well, but it's basically Darkseid's power where he can like end life.
Just like kill people?
Yeah, basically, where Thanos has the gauntlet and everything. The anti-life equation is.
So could Darkseid kill Thanos? If it's the anti-life equation?
It's basically he can control people with it. He can kill people with it. It's like he controls life, kind of.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe it.
So he's the opposite of
It is.
death.
Yeah.
So he can like shoot beams out of his eyes and control you, or shoot beams out of his eyes. And so, for example, in Final Crisis, Batman's trying to kill him, and he ends up shooting beams, shooting him with the anti-life equation, and Batman gets pushed through time.
Yeah.
But you think he's dead. So it's like he can control you. He can mind control sentient beings. So basically, he'd be controlling Superman. In
Yeah,
the
it's
movie.
described as total control over the minds of sentient beings.
Yes.
So, yeah. He can do pretty much anything.
Kind of, yeah. He can end people's life. He can do a ton of different things. But that's the bet. Yeah.
So in your opinion, Thanos versus Darkseid, who would win?
Wow.
So I want to say at one point, Darkseid's been punked a lot. Punked like a bitch many times, actually. I want to say he was arrested once, or he was mugged once.
Wow, that's pretty weak. Yeah. That is pretty weak.
Is Thanos the one with the old school helicopter from like the early comics? Didn't he have a helicopter?
Yeah, Darkseid got her, or was it Thanos that got her? One of them got arrested and one of them got punked.
God.
One of them got like beat up in an alleyway. Okay.
By common criminals?
Okay.
Yeah, right?
All right.
How does that
So
make
this has been like a debate a long time where who's more of the bitch, I guess. Darkseid got like robbed in an alleyway and like got his ass beat in an
Yeah,
alleyway.
That's weak.
Yeah. he
Pretty
got,
weak for
he
somebody
got,
who can, have total control over people.
He got robbed and beat down by like two like teenage kids.
Ooh.
It looks like.
Oh, that's bad.
And Thanos was arrested once.
for what?
Jaywalking.
Yeah, right?
I don't remember.
Public intoxication.
Indecent exposure.
It's just a classic photo.
Wow.
He got arrested.
Wow, yeah.
That's a bad look for Thanos.
So
yeah.
who?
Oh,
And then
that's really old school comics, though. That's
yeah, this
Yeah.
is. And then this is. We'll post these up too.
Yeah.
That's Darkseid getting his ass beat.
That's who he got his ass beat
yeah,
by?
and robbed.
These kids are losers. Look at these kids.
And they robbed him too.
Oh, man.
So
he also has Thanos also has a helicopter in the old school comics too.
yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He does.
Oh, man. So that really is the more pertinent question. It's not who would beat who. It's who's the bigger loser.
Who's the
between
bigger
these two.
bitch?
Yeah.
Well, here's the
Wow.
thing. Darkseid gets continuously beaten by the Justice League.
Yeah.
Granted, it takes all of them together to beat him. Thanos has destroyed the world plenty of times.
Yeah.
So, but he's out of the gauntlet. Where Darkseid's doing it kind of on his own.
On his own, yeah.
With just the anti-life equation ability. Where Thanos needs the gauntlet. I mean, he's done it without the gauntlet. He's
Yeah.
still a very powerful dude. He's beaten a lot of ass.
Well, in Darkseid, you can't do it without an ability.
Sure.
So, like, I don't like with Darkseid. It doesn't seem like it's a methodical, like, well thought out thing like Thanos's is. It's just, oh, I have this ability. Let me just use the crap out of it. So,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I don't know. It's a little bit of a toss up.
I always I always lean toward Thanos. Not because I'm a Marvel fanboy like everybody says,
Yeah.
but I just think he's more.
I think in terms of, oh wow, that's the helicopter.
Yeah.
It's just a yellow helicopter that says Thanos across it.
Yep.
That's so dweeby looking. Oh.
Yep.
I do think that in terms of who's the bigger loser, I got to go Darkseid on that. I don't know what Thanos got arrested for, but getting your butt kicked by two teenagers in an alley and
So,
getting robbed.
I've never read the comic of Thanos getting arrested, so I'm wondering if he got arrested like it was like his plan to get arrested, like he let them arrest him, or if he
Oh,
were
yeah.
legit was just punked out. I feel like getting arrested opposed to getting your ass beat in an alleyway in a pimp suit, I might add.
Yeah, in a pimp suit. Yeah,
Pimp
yeah.
suit.
That's not a good look either.
And then
That's-
getting robbed of your wallet. Why does Darkseid have a wallet to
yeah,
begin with?
like he just has a money clip. And so, like what a loser. Oh God! All right, I gotta look up Thanos' criminal record here. See what he was arrested.
Why
for.
he was arrested?
Yeah.
So let me finish the thing here in the movie. It says so working with Broken Cyborg, Batman and Cyborg send flashback to warn Bruce, which we saw in the movie. There's a scene in the trailer apparently that didn't make it in the movie where Bruce says Flash came to him and warned him that Lois was the key to something darker was coming. Oh man, that sounds so good. They work out a complex and nonsensical time travel formula, but the Earth has to be in the right position when the Flash jumps, or he'll jump back in time into space. And Cyborg asked when Batman wanted to send Flash back between two windows. Batman said, "Which one would you send him in?" And you didn't. Okay, this is getting dumb now. But what he's supposed
It's getting convoluted now.
that it still sounds great. It sounds awesome. So he was going to murder Lois. Batman was going to send Flash back in time. Sounds curious to know where this was heading. Kevin Smith said that he was told Snyder's Justice League trilogy would have gone cosmic for the sequel, heading to Apocalypse, with Justice League 3 focusing on the last stand against Darkseid. But then again, that's all hearsay, and Snyder didn't appear to confirm any of those plans during his Q&A panel. So we don't know if there would have been 3 movies, but we do know at least as much as Flash would have been sent back in time, and we don't know if that would have been an all-one movie, if that would have been split up in 2 movies. But Kevin Smith said there would have been 3 movies. Oh, man, that sounds awesome.
So apparently Thanos was just arrested because he got his butt kicked by some kid that had the cosmic cube.
Okay.
Which rendered him powerless. And then, like, Spider-Man and a bunch of other people just showed up, kicked his ass, and was like, here, you guys, NYPD, you can have him now. And because he was powerless because of the cosmic cube or whatever.
So he couldn't even break out.
He couldn't break out, yeah.
All right, that's okay.
So he was just rendered completely powerless and was arrested, yeah.
All right.
It doesn't. I can't find who actually had the cosmic cube to defeat him with or whatever, but yeah, that's why he was arrested. I still think Darkseid's was worse.
Oh, he's getting. Can you find out? Can you find out why he how he got robbed?
Yeah, I'll look that up because that's hysterical to me.
He legit looks like a pimp.
He does. Yeah, it's bad.
We gotta post all these. We'll post all these on Instagram and on Facebook and stuff. I would buy this Thanos toy.
Wait,
though.
Darkseid worked in a McDonald's at one point?
That I did not know.
Oh, we gotta look that up too. Oh,
What?
Darkseid.
What is going on here?
Oh man. This is bad. It's looking bad for Darkseid. Oh.
Oh man. But then again, DC like reboots so many times that it's probably doesn't even exist any longer. Like he probably never really worked at McDonald's, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Oh god, I have the picture.
of him working at McDonald's?
Yeah. Hang on, I'll send it to you so you can put it up. Oh my god, we'll post this up too, because wow, that is something, and it's exactly what you would imagine. Just
Of him being a McDonald's, like he has like the hat on and everything.
oh yeah, he's got the hat
man.
on. He's giving someone their bag of food. Yep.
Of him. I see him getting robbed here. Oh, that's even better. Like, hold on. So it shows you the robbery scene,
Yeah.
and then it shows him just like lifting his head up in like defeat after.
Yeah.
Wait, did the McDonald's thing can't be real. It is.
Yeah. Look at that.
So did hold on, time out. So he gets robbed by street punks, and then he has to work at McDonald's because he's broke.
I don't know what the timeline is, but yeah, I'm guessing something like that.
We got to find that out.
I'm gonna look up.
Find out why he worked at McDonald's.
I'm gonna look up his work history.
Does he have a resume online anywhere?
I know. Is there a Darkseid link?
So I'm seeing the full thing of Thanos getting here. So it's legit a kid, and he just, I'm assuming Hellcat and Spider-Man,
Yeah,
help
something
beat
like
him
that.
up.
Yeah.
Some little kid just like, here you go, here's the cube. I guess that makes more sense though. Like,
Well, at least Thanos was like, he was just kind of rendered powerless, and okay, that's what happens. But yeah, that's unreal. I mean, the McDonald, it's real. That's a real
had
comic.
a better fate than Darkseid. Thanos was stopped by Spider-Man, Black Cat, and random kid. Oh, Black Cat. That's an awful Black Cat. Black Cat and a random kid before being arrested by the cops. Darkseid has faced stuff like falling downstairs or being mugged by normal street thugs and even working at McDonald's. Oh, God. So,
Darkseid is just a dweeb.
so the scene of him slipping off the stairs,
Oh no.
he's like yelling at like his minions, and he's like, silence, and then he just "Ah!" and he falls down the stairs.
Oh.
the best part is when he's getting mugged, his hat still has the price tag on it. Oh man, I just want to know why he worked at McDonald's.
Yeah, there's no real explanation. It's from ambush bug number 2. But there's no one has like an explanation as to why he was at a McDonald's, why he was working there.
My theory is he got mugged and he had no more money. I'm hoping that it's something that he lost his powers or something, and he got mugged and had no money and had to work at McDonald's or something.
I hope so. I mean, that's kind of best case scenario for him. Oh man, there's a whole Reddit thread called Disrespect Darkseid, and there's links to all the bad stuff that's happened to him. Darkseid crashes on some random couch. Oh.
I just want to know why he worked at McDonald's. That's all I want to know is why he worked at McDonald's.
Darkseid would rather look at action figures and conquer the universe. Oh man, yeah, Darkseid's definitely the bigger loser between those two.
Yeah, the getting mugged by like some
Right.
tools, like some kids that just picked up this like thugs off the street. Worse. Everything I see, I'm looking for it too. And everyone's like, "What's going on with Darkseid at McDonald's?" And nobody can tell us why. Why is Darkseid at McDonald's? I want to know.
I want to know the backstory on that.
I feel like who is ambush bug number 2?
No, that's just where it was from. I don't know.
That's like the Redditor or something.
Maybe, yeah. Oh man, there's a comic where he gets owned by Santa.
Darkseid?
Yeah. Oh my god, because he's trying to stop Santa from coming to deliver presents.
Yeah,
And
that's
Santa just gives him a lump of coal and like runs away.
that's pretty awful.
Oh.
That's awful. So, it looks like from the thing here that Keith Giffen was the person that wrote it, I'm assuming.
Okay.
He's been at Mitch's Con before. If he's there this year, I'm going to ask him why he worked at McDonald's.
I hope he's there. We have to ask him.
You know what? Next time Mitch is on,
Yeah.
Mitch has to know.
This is a question for Mitch.
Mitch has to know.
Yeah.
I'm ashamed that I don't know. Man, I'm ashamed that I don't know. I should know this, but I don't. And the best part is too, like we'll post this. We have to.
We're gonna post all of this because they're phenomenal.
We'll post him getting mugged. We'll post him falling down the stairs.
The stairs one is legit laugh out loud funny.
We'll post the Thanos thing. See, I don't think you need the context. I think we should just post him getting arrested. I don't think you need the whole Spider-Man, all that. You just see him getting arrested is all you need for that.
Yeah. He's in handcuffs. He looks like a dweeb, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but the Darkseid stuff. Oh man! So Thanos, you get him getting arrested, and I guess if you want to give him a knock for having a banana-looking helicopter, but I think the helicopter's badass.
I mean, having a helicopter is cool,
right?
Like just the basic concept of having
Sure.
your own helicopter with your name on it. But
Yeah.
it's not a looker. It's
So I guess can you hold that against him? Maybe.
maybe a little bit.
So I guess getting arrested, opposed to slipping off stairs, getting mugged by 2 punks, and working at McDonald's. What's worse? I would get arrested anytime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I still have my own helicopter and can still destroy half the universe with a snap of my fingers? Yeah, I'm good. I'll let that dweeb get beat up in his pimp suit.
And he has like the price tag on the hat. It's just so
Oh,
good.
it's so bad.
Oh,
Shout out, by
man.
the way, to the top Reddit commenter who was like, well, now we know what the anti-Leif equation is. 2 wall beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
Yes. Oh man, that is some quality stuff
Dark
right
side,
there.
you loser.
Well, we're about to head to break because we went a way lot longer than we wanted to in this segment.
Yeah.
But to make a long story short, Darkseid's a loser,
Yeah.
but he would have been really cool in Zack Snyder's movie.
Yeah. Zack Snyder's Darkseid is cool.
We'll be posting up that too. Like I said, I think the picture that they have of him too, he looks pretty cool too. So we'll be posting that up too. We'll have a bunch of pictures to post up.
Yeah.
So we'll be getting them up tonight.
Check out the gram later.
Yeah, check out the gram. We'll be getting them up after the show. So stay tuned. Again, stay tuned. We're gonna take a short break, and we're gonna be back talking comic news. So we're gonna still hitting you up with the comic love. So stay tuned. Marvel's doing a lot of crazy things. A little bit of DC news too. Nothing about Darkseid though, unfortunately. We already shot all of our Darkseid bullets. So the gun is done. It's gone.
And then we
It's
took his money and ran.
Yeah, we unloaded. So
And he sat there like a bitch.
yeah. So we'll be back. Short break, and we'll be talking about the latest news in Marvel and DC Comics. So stay tuned. We're on the Go Network, and I can tell you that we are faring better than Darkseid
Yeah.
after getting mugged in the alleyway.
We're having a much better day than Darkseid would.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. No McDonald's in our future,
No.
unless we go
Well,
there.
maybe.
And,
I'm a little peckish.
maybe Thanos will ask us if we want fries with that.
I'm gonna.
Darkseid.
I'm gonna hook up Darkseid for a quarter pounder after this.
Oh man. Oh man. I just. All right. I promise we'll be back really quick. So this past weekend was C2E2. That is Chicago's Comic and Entertainment Expo, hence the two C's, the two E's. It is a big time where Marvel tends to answer a lot of things, talk about a lot of things, release a lot of details. DC does too, but not as much as Marvel. Marvel's kind of made it their thing. This is one of the points every year they go to C2E2 and they really push what's going to be going forward in the Marvel universe.
Right.
So Marvel will be the first section of what we'll talk about. We will talk a little DC, but just kind of on the Batman side of things. But we're going to get to Marvel first. So Marvel announced at C2E2 their plans for the 2019 slate. So they announced all their big events, miniseries, crossovers coming for the rest of the year, which is a lot. There's going to be 4. So we know of War of the Realms. They talked about War of the Realms a little bit. They talked about... So War of the Realms is going to be 6 issues, written by Jason Aaron, Russell Dauterman, and Matt Wilson doing the artwork. We knew that already. Covers by Art Adams, which is cool. He doesn't do too many things lately, so covers by him is always a lot of fun. So War of the Realms begins in April. Actually, the first issue comes out next Wednesday.
Oh, cool.
So next Wednesday is the first issue, so we'll be talking about that definitely. I don't know if we'll talk about it next week. Well, no, we won't be able to. It's the 3rd, so the week after we'll probably talk about it. It's been, like I've said many times in the show, the event's been brewing for years. It's going to be the culmination of Jason Aaron's run of Thor, God of Thunder, The Mighty Thor, and Thor Right Now. It's also going to tie into his Avengers run that he's currently doing. The event will star all of Marvel's top heroes, so it's going to be a full-on universe-spanning event where Marvel hasn't done really well with events. Yeah. Crossovers, they've done a good job, like little crossovers where like some heroes will work, maybe the X-Men and Spider-Man team up or something.
Sure.
On a small scale, their little crossover events are really good. For like huge universe-spanning events, they've been kind of slacking the last, I don't know, 8 years maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when was the last really big
the best one, like I'll say the complete event where from front to back it was money.
Yeah.
and you were just like, this is really good, and it meant something. Like generally events will happen, and then they'll be like, oh, this is gonna change the course of the Marvel universe. Like,
Sure, yeah.
the world's gonna quake, and
Right.
things are gonna be, everything's gonna be different, and the world's gonna be a different place. And for the most part, the impact won't last that long, and you're kind of just like, oh, they feel like money grabs sometimes.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And, I want to see the consequences shape the universe a little bit more, have a lasting impact to what's going to be happening. So they promise that these events that are happening are going to be that. They've promised that in the past. We'll see if the consequences last. So the last great event was Avengers vs. X-Men, where it was quality. The consequences lasted for years to come, impacted a lot of things. They've had so many different Original Sin, where the Watcher was killed and they stole his eyes and saw all the secrets that he saw over the years, and you're like, oh, this is juicy.
Wow, yeah.
And it started out really, really good, and it ended weakly, like in a very weak way, and then the consequences kind of got swept under the rug because a month or two later there was another event.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel that, and this worries me because they're 4 events, like almost right in a row. And I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
Right, that's a lot.
And usually when you get one event, the next one kind of sweeps under the rug what the last one did to make their story go.
Sure.
So I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
So Avengers vs. X-Men was the last best one. Front to back. Original Sin was all right. It ended badly. Then there was the heroes getting inverted. There was just so many really lackluster. Secret Wars a couple years ago was pretty good, but again, it was just like it could have been better. I mean, the last best was Avengers vs. X-Men. But I have really high hopes for War of the Realms. Like I said, Jason Aaron's been writing this for 8 years now. He's been on Thor about 7 or 8 years. He's done well over 80 issues. So this is kind of like the big culmination of everything that he's been writing for the last, 7 or 8 years. And It's been my favorite comic. I think the best comic on the stands, and I really want to see this. They've been hyping this war up for so long, and I want to see what happens. And the fact that you're going to have basically all your favorite heroes kind of participating in this war gets me really excited. It really gets me excited. You're going to have, like I said, the event's going to star all your favorite heroes: Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Black Panther, Captain Marvel. Basically, the whole Avengers team is going to be there because Thor's a member of the current Avengers team, so they're going to be helping out their buddy.
Sure.
And I think it's going to be awesome. We're going to have Malekith the Accursed coming to Midgard, which is Earth. He's bringing the war there because the war right now is kind of happening in all of the other Asgardian, the 10 realms, but he hasn't really attacked Earth yet. So I'm assuming that majority of the fight's going to be on Earth, but a lot of the artwork I've seen is shown them in like Asgardian lands and stuff like that, like Jotunheim and all those things. So I don't know. Maybe they'll be bouncing between. I'm not sure how they're going to.
Multiple places.
I'm definitely super, super excited for it. Jason Aaron's my favorite writer, so I've been, like I said, waiting for this for a long time, and who doesn't want to see Captain America holding an axe, or Spider-Man with a shield, or Luke Cage with a warhammer? Like, it's going to be sweet. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And Jason Aaron does a really good job at making things really serious, but yet really funny at the same time. And I'm excited. I'm also excited to have the original art team back from Mighty Thor, Russell Darterman, Matt Wilson. They make a great team. Their art, some of the best art on the comic stands, and I'm glad to see them back working with Jason Aaron. So I'm excited. So that's your first event. Comes in April, and it probably ends in June, I'd say. June.
Yeah.
I would say. Your next event, but it could also be a crossover. So Marvel's been hinting that Jonathan Hickman's coming back. Jonathan Hickman's a prolific comic writer. He's wrote He's wrote everybody. The Avengers, Fantastic Four. He's wrote everybody. His last thing was he did Secret Wars, which is probably the last quality event. It was good. Yeah. It was. I don't know if I'd call it an all timer, but it was good.
It was solid. Yeah.
It was a solid event.
Okay.
So that was a couple years ago, and maybe 2-3 years now. And he's been out of Marvel doing his own little side comics and stuff for independent companies. So he's been away from Marvel, but they've been hinting that he's coming back. You know, that they'd write like Hickman, July 2019. So everyone was like losing their mind, you know, and they were, what is he going to come back? What is he going to be writing? What is he coming back to?
Yeah.
So they announced at C2E2 that he will be writing 2 X-Men miniseries. 2 X-Men miniseries called the House of X or the House of 10. I've heard both. Some people say it's the X is 10, but some people say it's an actual X. And the Powers of X. So he's going to have 2. They're going to go one issue comes out, one issue comes out. They're going to switch off between the 2.
Yeah.
Alternate between the 2.
Okay.
So what they say is these two miniseries are going to be some of the biggest events in X-Men history. It says the little description they put out says this July, Marvel's House of X and Powers of X will mark the next major milestone in X-Men history. Since their introduction by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby over 50 years ago, fans around the world have followed the extraordinary stories of the X-Men through seminal moments like Giant X-Men, 1991's X-Men 1, Age of Apocalypse, and New X-Men. So those are considered maybe probably the 4 best milestone, like the moments of like the best times in X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, Giant X-Men brought you that whole 80s X-Men run where, the Chris Claremont, everyone's, oh man. 1991 brought Chris Claremont and Jim Lee together, and it was like this breathed new life into X-Men. Everyone's like, oh man, it's the next, generation of Chris Claremont X-Men.
Right.
Then you had Age of Apocalypse was one of the greatest X-Men events of all time, an alternate timeline story that was an all-timer. Some of the best stuff, some of the best things we know about Apocalypse came from Age of Apocalypse. And New X-Men, something I didn't read. I'm kind of against it, not a fan of it, but there are plenty of people that love it. It was Grant Morrison coming from DC to do X-Men for Marvel. So he left DC, came to Marvel. It was a big thing, but he changed a lot of stuff. So the original X-Men movies is kind of based off Grant Morrison's X-Men.
Got it.
So he took them out of their cool, flashy suits and gave them all those black.
The all black.
Yep.
Bland as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And he did this really stupid thing where, he killed Jean Grey, and he just did dumb stuff where I never read it. I didn't want to read it. I heard that what I've been told, Pat and Alan have both said it to me, that it's, you're the X-Men for people who are not X-Men fans.
Got it.
So if you're not an X-Men fan, you might enjoy it. It's like the X-Men for non-X-Men fans. If you're an X-Men fan, you're probably going to hate it.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told. So I'm just like, why do I want to read it?
Well, yeah,
I'm all set.
Say if that's the case, then forget it.
So they tout those 4 times, which are, like I said, probably the most important moments in X-Men history. So July 2019, we're getting these books, and it's gonna be huge. They can't. They say during the event they said they couldn't reveal too much. The stories will redefine the X-Men and their place in the Marvel universe. It's interesting that now that they have the rights back they're going full in on it because since they didn't have the rights for a while, they kind of swept the X-Men under the rug, and they
Yeah,
weren't that
they
popular.
backed
They
off.
didn't put great writers on them, or they didn't try that hard. Once in a while, they'd come out and they would try for a little bit, but then once another X-Men movie was coming out, they'd bury them again a little bit. Now they have the rights back. It's interesting that they're kind of going full force with X-Men again.
Yeah, they're going all in.
CB Sobalski says this is an historic moment both new and passionate fans won't want to miss. I'm gonna read it. I'm excited. So this is another one I'm gonna be reading out. It's gonna be Jonathan Hickman writing, P.P. Larez on art for House of X, and Power of X is gonna be Hickman writing again, and R.B. Sylvia doing artwork for Powers of X, or at least for the first issues. I don't know if they'll change artists or they'll be the whole 6 issues, but they're both 6-issue miniseries that will be switching off between the two. So I'm assuming you have to read both to get the story.
Yeah.
The artwork's pretty cool. It kind of shows you two sides of the X-Men, and yeah, I'll show you real quick. Kind of shows you
Oh yeah. Okay.
two different eras of the X-Men, kind of, or
Sure.
I also read that the plan will be that some of the characters there will be alternate versions of some of your favorite X-Men. I heard, so it won't just be the X-Men you know and love. There'll be alternate versions of your X-Men. So I'm assuming, parts of Age of Apocalypse, maybe characters that got erased in that timeline will come back. I'm not sure. They mentioned Age of Apocalypse, so I'm assuming that it's going to have a important time. We also have the next event, which is coming in August 2019. It is called Absolute Carnage.
Ooh.
So in the 90s, we had Maximum Carnage, which was insane. An all-timer. Some people don't say it has aged well, but it's a classic. We're getting Absolute Carnage, which is about Carnage running rampant through the Marvel Universe.
Huh.
Spider-Man and Venom prepare to collide with Carnage in the summer event. Again, this was announced at C2E2. Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman will be a creative team. I guess Donny Cates has been building towards this in his ongoing Venom series, which I do not read. If it's... Well, we don't know much of the plot. We know that it's called Absolute Carnage. The cover looks pretty cool. Carnage looks very serious. He's standing on some graves.
Phew.
And it looks like
go.
the graves of superheroes like Spider-Man, Venom, Wolverine, so Captain America. So all their graves are there, and he's standing above them. Cletus Cassidy is back, and he is he's deadlier, not deader. Deadlier. He is deadlier than he's ever been. Absolute Carnage encompasses every single character who has ever worn a symbiote and every symbiote that has ever been, going all the way back to when Peter found the black suit, going from Maximum Carnage to Venomize to everything. Everything is a target. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm into that.
this sounds like something that it won't be as big of a scale. Maybe it will be. It might be more of a Venom Spider-Man crossover with other heroes kind of showing up and helping out, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this will be a full-fledged event. It seems like they're pushing it as a full-fledged event. So it's like, I don't know. Do I want that's the X-Men thing seems more it's confined to the X-Men. It might just be crossover, so it might not be a full event. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like it's going to be world-spanning. Absolute Carnage kind of does. So I don't know how that's going to affect the whole War of the Realms deal or the consequences from War of the Realms, but Absolute Carnage is coming. And then they announced that in December we'll have another event that all the consequences from the 3 events will impact this event, and this event will happen because of those 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
I like
So we're
that.
actually getting an event spanning from these 3 events.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited. I'm really excited. The last thing that was announced was that they're going to have a new Valkyrie comic coming out at the end of War of the Realms. It is not the Valkyrie in the movies, like the version you saw in the MCU from Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
It is Brunhilde, the Valkyrie from the current run of Thor. She's been an Avenger. She's one of the Asgardians of the galaxy. You know, she's been around. She's everywhere.
Yeah.
So the comic's going to be coming out after War of the Realms, spurning out. I'm assuming it might be coming out in the middle of it. I'm not sure, but it says it'll be spinning out of the events of War of the Realms. And it was announced that this is going to be the end of Jason Aaron's time on Thor. So he's going to like close things out with this book. It's written by him and Al Ewing, so I'm assuming that he's going to start out writing it with them, and then he's going to kind of just leave it over to him.
Pass it over. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not excited about that. I don't want to see I want him to be on Thor forever.
Right.
But he announced that the War of the Realms is going to culminate his Thor run, and this will be like the ending of his Thor run is jumping over to this book. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't want that. I want him on Thor forever. But I don't know. Doesn't look like it. So we're getting a Valkyrie book sometime after April. May, June, maybe. They don't give you a set date. They just say spanning out of War of the Realms. So it could be anywhere between April or June. I'm assuming it's going to be probably more towards the tail end of the event. I would say end of May, early June. We also got, last bit of comic news here, we also got a bit of kind of news or a tidbit of what Batman Detective Comics 1000 is going to be about. So the new storyline is going to span from 1000 to 1005, and it's going to bring Arkham Knight into the comics. It's not going to be the same Arkham Knight from the game.
No.
It's going to be a new villain, and the story is going to make Batman out to be the villain. In Arkham Knight's eyes, Batman's the villain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going to see from the comic version of Arkham Knight, you're going to see their perspective play out from courses of very subsequent like Batman storylines, like some of the best Batman storylines ever. Their version of like how they saw it of like Batman being the villain of the story.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool. We're gonna see potential. I'm assuming Batman's not gonna actually be a villain,
No.
but in this character's eyes, Batman's the bad guy. You know, it says we start to peel back the layers to their perspective, which due to their upbringing is very much tainted by the idea of Batman being a villain. In Arkham Knight's eyes, Batman is just a dark black hole over Gotham and continues to suck life energy out of it. Ooh. So it all stems from really examining Arkham Knight and what the new character is about and making sure it played a central part in the origin. The origin of the Arkham Knight Batman is definitely... In the origin of Arkham Knight, Batman is most definitely a villain. So, and it's written by Peter Tomasi, who we had a chance to talk to last year at Terrificon. He'll be back at Terrificon this year, so that's pretty big. He's the 1000th issue of Detective Comics, and it sounds like it's going to be a really good storyline, so I'm excited. It actually goes on sale tomorrow, the 1000th issue, so I got to skedaddle out there and pick one up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 6-part story. Yeah, I guess 6. But it doesn't seem like it's 6. 1000 to 1005? Yeah, okay, it is 6.
Through 5, yeah.
Yeah,
6.
Yeah. That throws me off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It throws me off too sometimes.
Yeah.
I go
Yeah.
through the same thing.
So yeah, a chance to see a side of Batman maybe being the villain, or through another character's eyes where Batman's perceived as the villain. All right, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a good time.
that should be good.
So unfortunately, since we went too long with
Making fun of Darkseid.
making fun of Darkseid and Thanos slightly, that we're not going to be able to talk video games, unfortunately, because we already went longer than we were supposed to. But maybe we'll save that for next week.
Yeah.
We'll talk some video game stuff next week. There's a lot of platforms that could be coming out, some consoles that may be getting a refresh. So definitely talk about them. We'll have a big wrestling segment next week. We'll be talking WrestleMania, why Jason thinks it's going to blow.
Gonna be so bad.
Why I think it's going to be awesome. I think Raw's been the best it's been in a long time.
Raw's been boring.
Oh,
Raw has been so boring.
I want to know what you would do differently.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I want you to know. I want to know what you would do differently, what you'd change, what you'd do differently, and how you'd make Raw exciting.
Okay.
Because to me, Raw's been awesome. I think Raw's been great. They played it a little safe with Ricochet and stuff, but I digress. We don't want to get into that now.
Sure.
We'll talk about it next week. So a huge WrestleMania segment. We'll get into New Japan too. They're still rolling, doing a good job. I'm happy that they didn't regress, I guess. I still got to catch up with the New Japan Cup, but New Japan is doing well. So we'll talk about New Japan. We'll talk about WWE. We'll talk about WrestleMania. Have a big WrestleMania segment. We'll have the video game segment. And I'm sure we'll have some other... no, we won't talk about War of the Realms will be the next week.
Yeah.
We'll figure out something else.
I'm sure something will come
wrestling,
up.
video games, and something. We'll figure out something else. So that will be your next week's episode. We will be on Twitch. So we'll definitely post it up on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram to remind you guys that we'll be going to Twitch next week. And we'll make a post before the show just to reiterate that we'll be there. Like today we did a kind of a bad job of not posting about what the plan for the show was today. But next week we'll definitely have a post right a little bit before the show comes on to remind you guys. I mean, maybe we'll post throughout the day to give you a reminder just in case you're not there right before the show and miss it. So we'll post it throughout the day and reminding you guys that we'll be on Twitch next week. So again, thank you for listening to this episode of Static Rift here on the Go Network. You can find us on every podcast platform, all social medias at Static Rift Radio. Next week we'll be on Twitch for the live show, so stay tuned for that. And again, thanks for listening to the show. You can find us here on the Go Network, same static place, same static time. We'll post all those photos. I love you all. Good night.